Chronological Bible in a Year, day 145. We are back in Chronicles, and again, we're seeing lists of names and numbers, and we can start to wonder why. What's the purpose of this? But we need to remember, all Scripture is God-breathed and useful for teaching, rebuking, correcting, and training in righteousness so that we are equipped to do the good deeds God calls us to. So why this list of Levites and their roles and their positions in the kingdom? In part, it gives us an understanding of the role the Levites do have. Remember, this is a tribe without a land, dispersed throughout all of the other tribes. We see a majority are working within the temple, praising and worshiping and serving God and helping their countrymen do the same. Then we see another great amount acting as officers and judges, and then the others are gatekeepers. They're sitting at the gates, and we'll find later the gates are very important. The last are set as singers and musicians and prophets. And the idea of prophets fascinated me. Depending on your current theological alignment, you either are like, hey, yeah, it's still alive and active, or you might be a cessationalist and be like, nope, that's done and gone. But no matter where you fall, often we think of a prophet as someone specially called by God, not appointed by a king. But this is what really fascinated me. In 25 verse 3, talking about some of the prophets, it says that they were prophesying to the accompaniment of lyres, giving thanks and praise to the Lord. Lyres being the instrument, not people who lie. But the prophecy here is for the praise of the Lord, not to tell the future, not to equip a king. There are people called seers. In the very next section, we see the king's seer. But a majority of prophets, it seems, are not fortune tellers, rather they are worshipers. I read this thinking, how can this impact the way I serve and worship God? And some of my thoughts are we should give our modern Levites, that would be the pastors, the bishops, the cardinals, superintendents, whatever your denomination has, we should give them honor and respect. We should seek understanding when we disagree with them. We should also be willing to rebuke if rebuke is needed. But maybe here's a question for the rest of us. How can our life emulate the worship that we see here? Protestants love the term the priesthood of believers. We are all, in a way, a priest in that we are to glorify and proclaim the truths of Christ. So how can we emulate the worship that we see by the Levites and the structures? We see structures are a good thing. How can we place and follow these structures similarly? Or if you want to have a broader question, what are your thoughts on the Levitical model that God gave the ancient Israelites? We'll be back in the Psalms tomorrow. I'm really looking forward to it. But until then, God bless.